Welcome to Drawing with Miss Liberty with Liberty Pearson, or if you're a student, Miss Liberty. Today is the last Drawing with Miss Liberty lesson of the season. You can view past lessons in past Facebook events or on my YouTube channel. Following this series of lessons, I'll be working on a summer school virtual program on political poster design and stenciling. So look forward to that. But let's get started. Our lesson today is the second lesson of our Father's Day card here. We sketched and laid out and defined some typography for this lesson. It started with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. We cut it in half and then folded it in half. And then we sketched a banner. Those are some notes from before. And we did our typography in the banner. So today we are going to color it. This is what we finished yesterday. So if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, that's no problem at all. If you can see the one that I did before our lesson on Wednesday is not exactly the same as the one I did after, so no worries on that. What I am going to do, however, is I do like how thick the word father is on this version. So since we haven't started coloring yet, I'm going to go ahead and make the lines on this darker first before we start coloring. But let's go over our materials. So if you haven't done the lesson yet from Wednesday, so lesson number 1, you would have needed a pair of scissors to cut your paper in half, but we don't need those today. Sorry, camera. You needed, of your drawing utensils, you needed a pencil. I prefer that you use a lightweight pencil for sketching. I'm using a heavyweight mechanical pencil so that you can see it, see the lines when I'm drawing on camera. You also used a fine tip pen for doing your outlining and your typography. And you needed a thick marker, felt marker, or paint marker. I'm using a Sharpie to do your thick outlines, and also my main type. During sketching, we used our erasers. I recommended that you use a kneaded eraser. It works the best in my opinion. But if you have any other eraser, that would work. And last but not least, we have what we're using today, which is our color pencils. I said in the description that you could use any colors you would like to use. Today I'm using my father's favorite color as my main color, which is violet or purple. And then I'm using the analogous colors with violet or purple, and that would be red and blue because they sit beside them, or the primary colors to build that. And then you could also use a complementary color to darken it in the really dark places. So where it gets dark on here, I didn't use black. I used the complementary color, which brings out a really cool dark tone. So if your father's favorite color is green, you could also use blue or yellow with it, or a yellow-green or a blue-green. And then for your complementary color for the darker areas, you would use red. Or if your father's favorite color is red, you would use the two analogous colors, which would be orange or purple. Yeah, orange or purple, or anything in between that. So a red, purple, or a red orange, and you could also use those. So just to break that down for you, I'm using violet, so that's the first color I'm going to use today. I'm going to put the rest of my utensils on the side. I'm going to put that off camera so it doesn't mess with the focus. I'm going to put my drawing utensils to the side. I don't need those. And my eraser can go away, and I already got rid of the scissors. So let's get started. So you should have half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper folded in half. You're going to do your message here on the inside. We used a scrap piece of paper. Let me find it. We used a scrap piece of paper underneath the front of our card so that our felt marker didn't bleed through to the back. So we're also going to use this scratch paper, which is the other half of the 8.5 by 11. so that our pressure from the color pencil doesn't mark down on our back sheet. So like that. So go ahead and get your father or father figure's favorite color, and you're going to start with that color. And you're going to go ahead and lay down a light, even layer across the whole banner. If you did your typography really big like this with solid black letters, you won't have to color in the letters. But if you did like bubble letters or box letters, don't color that in yet. So go ahead, the whole banner, even the back side of the banner. And you notice I'm moving in one direction. I'm holding my pencil like a pair of chopsticks so that I have best control over the light pressure. I'm also holding my pencil on its side so that I could get a broader area colored. Okay, going in one direction, but I'm also using circular motions. And it helps get rid of some pencil strokes. So just one layer of that. I got something underneath the paper. Even cover. Kelly, this is probably pretty easy for you because you can adjust your brush size, or you could just select fill. Okay, and we like that tone, so we're going to go ahead and lay it down a little bit thicker. If you have color pencils, just change the direction that the paper is, and you can keep moving your pencil the same way you've been moving it. And put down one more heavier, even layer of that favorite color over the top. You don't want it to be dark. Medium value. Okay, next we're going to add some form to our banner around the outside edges of the banner fronts, our rectangles. We're going to, using a motion that's in the same contour as the banner, we're going to go in and add some more of that favorite color and kind of darken up the edge. Don't know if you can see, but it's getting a little bit darker. I'm moving my pencil in the same direction as the contour of the banner. Okay, and you get in a little bit closer to the edge and get it a little bit darker. And closer and get it darker. And then you can even start going against that just to make it a little bit darker if you want to. Just make sure you blend at the side that goes into the banner. But you're not going all the way across. So you do that, so do it to this one here. And notice the way I'm holding my pencil. I'm not trying to make any dark lines here. Just an FYI, I have my office door open today so that my cat can go in and out without meowing outside the door. So she may or may not jump on the table, but that's okay. I think everyone could use a little Xena in their life. Okay, and then do the same thing to the other outside of the banner. Kelly, you could probably use a gradient if you were doing this on the edges. Okie dokie. And one more. It's a little tedious, but it's worth it. I mean, it's going to be a gift for somebody else, so it's the thought that counts, and this is, we're putting in a lot of thought. Okay, we're also going to make it just a little bit darker on the very top and a little bit darker on the very bottom of each front of the banner. You're not even going to blend that, you're just going to put that right there. And so we're going to do a similar technique on the back of the banner. We're going to start really dark right underneath the banner and then blend it in. So really dark right underneath the banner in this little corner, and then blend it in. Do the same thing down here. Well, we're not done here. I want to make it a little bit darker. Blend it almost all the way halfway across. Same thing down here. All right, Kelly, let me know if I'm going too fast. I will slow down. And you see I'm getting really dark underneath here, so you should be doing the same contrast. And same for this one. And then you can flip it over, which is easier, so I could do the same motion and do the same to the underside. Really dark right in that corner, and then blend it in. Okay. So next you're going to take one of the analogous colors and you're going to go over your shadows one more time, a little bit closer to the edges, not so far into the middle, and you're just going to define your shadows. So by going in with a little bit more red, a little bit more blue, a little bit of green, we'll get a nice rich dark violet. And blend it just part of the way. So for this I'm just kind of going like that. So if you could do the same, that's what we're trying to accomplish here. If you guys hear some noises in the back, that's just my cat going through some things. I might have to stop to get her to stop. All right, what is it with cats and plastic? Do the same to the undersides. I'm going to take care of this first. So if your dad's favorite color was green, then you would be doing this with blue or or yellow. Sorry, I had to take had to step away to block my cat out of the closet. We're back. And under here, again, you want to get a darker than medium tone. Maybe take the red all the way across this back banner because we want it to be darker than the front. It's very windy today, if you can't hear. Again, if you are just joining me, today is the final Drawing with Miss Liberty lesson of the season. Today we are coloring our Father's Day card from lesson 1 on Wednesday. You can watch the previous lesson in past events on Facebook, or in a couple of days you could watch it on YouTube. So we're done with that one. So you're going to go with the opposite analogous color and do the same thing, but stay only close to the edge. You're not going to fade into the middle at all. So we're just, in fact, you can go against it this way because you just want that outside. Just the outside. And then for behind the banner, you're going to want to go the same pressure you're going with that red. Take it all the way across. Okay, and then go ahead and grab your complementary color and go in just to the back of the banner in those corners and right behind the banner, and then blend it about halfway. See how we got nice and dark right there without using black. So usually if you had green or purple to any color, so let's say your father's favorite color was yellow, you could use purple to darken it up. Only add as much pressure as you need to add to make it darker. You don't want it to turn green, you kind of want it to turn this black brown. I kind of blended that all the way in. I'm adding a good amount of pressure. And then blending it in. Okie dokie. So I'm going to give you time to catch up. I'm going to go ahead and make my Father's in Father's Day a little bit thicker. So I'm going to have to do a lot of moving around here. This will take me a second, so that should give you plenty of time. So you should just be finishing up your banner shading. Oh, sorry, the camera moved. I got a cat moving around. I'm way down here anyway. Okay, and S is the bane of my existence. Okey-dokey. Alright, and I'm going to use the fine tip pen to clean it up. Just to make my bottoms corners. I think this pen is dead. Okie dokie. Alright. So this is where you should be at. Alright, so if you're going to pick an analogous color to the favorite color, so my father's favorite color was violet, so I'm going to use red for my background. If your father's favorite color is green, you could use yellow or blue for the background. You could also use blue for the background here, but I like the red. So we're going to start by, we're not going to cover the whole thing. We're going to start by making a circular strokes around the outside of the banner, just close to the outside. About medium. And then you could turn the page so it's easier on your hand and wrist. Okay, now that you've got that, we're going to go ahead and blend that out to white. So you're going to go around and kind of blend that out. So next to where you've gone dark, you're going to go a little bit lighter. Just keep going till you get out to where you can't see the color pencil anymore. If it's close to the edge, you don't have to go all the way to white. And keep going. So this is kind of the effect we're trying to get to eventually. It's like a shadow behind it. Just blend those edges out to white. I'm using a circular motion for the background. Okay, then you're going to go back into the edges and go a little bit darker, starting from the corners, these little inside corners. You're going to apply a little more pressure there, and then bring that out to white. You're going to apply a little more pressure right on the edge, so you shouldn't have any white around the banner. Blend that out. And you do the same thing in every little corner. And we got this corner here. And under here, get really close to that marker line. Blend it out to white. You got the same thing in here. And right here. Go ahead and go here. So you almost want it to be really red right at the edge of the line. And then just blend that out to white. I got too many lines going on. I'm not being patient enough. Okie dokie, we got another corner right there. Eventually you should end up with no white. You're eventually taking this color all the way to the edge. We got this corner right here. And this edge. And this edge. And this edge. Let me get rid of the rest of this white and make it a nice even tone. dokie. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and find a nice pen, if I have one. See if this pen works. That's a nice pen. I'm going to open my card up. I'm going to write Dear Dad, Happy Father's Day. Love. All right. So we've got our banner from before the lesson. We've got our banner after the lesson. I like them both. What do you think? What one's better? I drew on the back of this one, so I can't get that one away. But there we are. So hopefully you've had a lot of fun this season, and hopefully you made some art. Maybe you want to watch some past videos that you haven't gotten back to. Most of my drawing lessons